right on 6 o'clock, so we're just going to wait for a little bit to get everybody on. Hope you're all having a great school holidays for those that are on school holidays. The kids are being entertained. We're going to do a beautiful chili chorizo prawn pasta tonight, which is really yummy. I've tested it and it's amazing, so looking forward to doing that tonight. Again, like we did the other week, we'd love to know where you're all watching us from. So let us know if you're watching us from, Melbourne, Queensland. Let us know where you're watching. Don't forget, we've also got Rose online as well. So if you've got any questions as we go along, you can be asking Rose all of those questions and she'll be able to answer those for you. So thanks, Rosie, for doing that. But we'll just give everyone a few more minutes. Don't forget too that if there's a recipe that you really like that you do in another way, I'm more than happy to try to work out how to do it in our Cook Expert. So I've been doing that with a lot of recipes and then just converting them in so that I can use this instead of my hot plates and slow cookers and all those things. So I'm more than happy to do that. So feel free to give us a shout out and let us know what sort of recipes you're struggling with. And we'll definitely do everything we can to help you to make sure that you're getting the most out of your Cook Expert. So tonight I've had quite a few requests for the spiralizer. So I did do the spiralizer about 6 weeks ago just to show you. So it is another part of the food processor that you can purchase. I know lots of people have got it and not using it properly and wanted a little bit of confidence in using it. So we're going to make sure that we show you that tonight. It's also really good to see things being used if you're thinking of making a purchase for some additions onto your food processor. So we're going to go through that as well. But I think we probably should get going. So hopefully you've got everything chopped up and ready based on the information that we gave you on our Cookalong Facebook page. So we're going to get started. So we're actually going to be using, again, my favourite function on here is the expert function, because it really allows you to do exactly what it is that you want, which is really exciting too. So for all of you out there that are using your machines tonight, you know that we have got a 30-year motor guarantee on our machines, which is absolutely amazing. And we are also made in France, which is really exciting as well. So that is where our machines come from and put together. So we are going to go through this one now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by chopping up. So it was a medium onion, a couple of cloves of garlic. So we're going to pop those in there, like so. And then also 2 long red chillies. Now, if you want to make this again down the track and you try it and you think actually it could be a little bit hotter, you could actually throw in an extra chilli with a bird's eye chilli or something to make it that bit hotter. But, if you're feeding small children and they don't like things really, really spicy, this is a really nice meal. So it doesn't have a real huge bite to it, but you can certainly adapt it if you want it to be bitier for you as well. So what I'm going to do is we're going to pop that on. And we're going to actually chop up our onion, garlic and chilli first of all, just to give it a nice chop. So we're going to go with our expert and we're going to go, so I'm not worried about the time, I'm just going to leave that for now. But I'm actually going to start, so if you want to come in and have a look, we're going to show you. So when I actually start this, I might put the top on so I'm going to get chilli in my eye. But what I want to show you is if I start this now, which I'm going to do on 3, it's not doing anything, it's just flipping everything around the bowl. So the idea of this is you get to then control how fast your machine is going to go. So as you're looking at that, I'm going to start turning up the speed of the machine. Because our blades aren't super sharp, that's not what they're designed for. It's actually the speed that will actually dice up your onions and your chilies and your garlic. So that's at 15. I'm just going to see that sort of stopped now for a bit. But I'll put that up to 15 and you really saw that started to chop. So what I'm going to do, and depending on how diced it is that you want yours as well, so have a quick little look at it. So if you want to come in and have a look at that, you can see that it's nice and beautifully diced up. Now if you want to dice it a little bit more, just pop it back on, leave it on the speed that we're up to, which is I think we've said 15. But if you wanted to dice that up a little bit more, by all means, absolutely go for it. So it's completely up to you and how it is that you like that. So I'm just going to chop that just for literally a couple of seconds. Okay, beautiful. So now I just want you to just scrape down the sides of your bowl. And you all know how to do that with our fabulous spatula that comes with your Cook Expert as well. So we're going to slide all of that back into the machine. Beautiful. And then we're actually going to cook off the onion and the chilli and the garlic just for 3 minutes. So we're actually going to set it to, so we'll up that to 3 minutes. Oh, that's down. It's funny when you work upside down. Okay, so we're going to do that for 3 minutes. So if you can all pop that on for 3 minutes, we're going to just do it at a speed of 3. Okay, so we just want that to slowly and just gently stir that from the bottom of the machine. And we're going to pop it on at 110 degrees. So we'll pop that up to 110. Okay, so we'll go start. Okay, so I generally will take the cap off when I'm doing this because I want to saute those vegetables. I haven't added any oil or anything to it. I don't need to add any oil to it, but I just want to get those veggies to start, the onion and garlic and chilli to start cooking. What I love about our Cook Expert as well is the induction heating. So what you'll find is within, you know, probably 15, 20, 30 seconds, you're actually going to start to see the steam. Because with induction, it's instant heat, which means that, so here we go, it's already starting to steam up and it's been on for just 30 seconds. So that's what I love about the fact that this heats really quickly. So you don't have to saute things for, you know, 5 and 10 minutes waiting for the bowl to actually get to the temperature. It's actually already there, which is fantastic. It's a really great feature, and induction is one of the best heating sources that we have as well. So that's really great that we've actually got that in our machine. So as I mentioned, you've got that beautiful 30-year warranty on your motor as well, which is great. And there's always, you know, if you have a little incident where you need to replace the part, you can always do that as well. So it's nice and easy for you. And it's always good that you've got those options. It's easy to lose things. How many peelers have you thrown in the bin because you peeled a carrot and left it in the bag? But so same thing. So it's, you know, sometimes things happen, but you can always have that warranty that you've got those parts if you need them, which is great. So we're just cooking that off, and this is just, I love the fact that it's so steamy after just a minute and a half. So it's cooking absolutely beautifully. And then what we're going to do is we're actually going to add the ingredients for our sauce and then pop it on for another 10 minutes. But I'm actually not going to put the pasta in until that 10 minutes is up because I want to start to get that sauce cooking and absolutely beautiful, so that we can then move on to adding our pasta and our chorizo. And then in the last 5 minutes we're going to add the prawns. So make sure if you haven't done it, oh, that onion's stinging my eyes a little bit, but if you haven't done it, make sure with your prawns that you've actually got them all nicely peeled, and then slice them long ways, okay, so in half long ways. And what you'll find is when we cook with them, they'll curl up beautifully in your pasta as well. So that's, yeah, nice and easy for you, but make sure you've got all those things done. Also with your chorizo, if you wanted to cut your chorizo into chunks, pop it into the machine, let the machine dice it up for you before you do your onion and your garlic, absolutely you can do that as well. I just sliced that up. I just realised I've got earrings in that might be tapping on my... I'm just going to take those out, sorry. I just think I can hear them tapping and I'm hoping that that's not affecting the volume, the sounds for you, so I'll just take those out. Okay, so we've just got a couple more seconds of this to go, and then we're going to be able to pour in all of those ingredients for that beautiful sauce. So here we go. So we'll pop that up. Do you know the other thing I really love about our machine is that when it's finished, it's 3 minutes, it stops. Beeps just the once to tell you it's done, but it's not going to continually beep at you till you walk in and can turn it off. Okay, so actually I'm going to save the water till last and I'll show you why. So I'm just going to add in my wine. Now you've heard me talk about using wine in the past. Don't use a wine that you go, oh, this is disgusting, I'll put it aside for cooking. So many people make that mistake. If you don't like the taste of it, you're not going to like it in your cooking either. Okay, so I'm adding in 2 teaspoons of sugar and half a cup of white wine. If you want to add a little bit more white wine, that's completely up to you, but I'd rather drink it. So then we're also going to add in our tomato. So that was 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. And then we've got a 400-gram can of tomatoes that we're popping in. And then our 2 cups of water, but I'm actually going to use that water just to wash out that can so that we don't waste all that beautiful tomato that's in there. See, so now it's nice and clean. So we're going to add in the rest of our water. And we are ready to start making that beautiful sauce. Now, by all means, if you want to pop the cover back on, you can pop that cover back on as well. So beautiful. And then we're going to do that for 10 minutes. And we're going to pop that just onto speed 3. And we're just going to pop the temperature down just to 100 degrees. So just drop it just by that little bit. And we're going to start that. And then that's just going to stir our sauce for the next 10 minutes. So beautiful. So, like I mentioned earlier, I've had quite a few requests for people to see our spiralizer. So if there's any other of our attachments that you want to see, again, just let us know. We're more than happy to be able to show you these things. It's really nice to be able to see things. We're not out as much as we used to be for people to sort of really see, you know, live demos. This is why we've started doing these things with Facebook, because we really want to make sure that you're getting all, you know, you can out of your amazing machine. So I'm just going to clean this up. I'm surprised that none of my friends have offered to be my cleaner so that they can eat the food. That would be really easy, wouldn't it? Okay, so the spiralizer. So the spiralizer and the attachments basically come like this. Okay, so you've got your cover. You've also got your 3 attachments. So 2 of them will fit and lock into the bottom. And then we've got our extra attachment here. Now the attachments that you do get with the spiralizer is our spaghetti. So that's for things like your zoodles. We also have one which is called our Tagliatelle, which is just a little bit thicker. So I'm going to show you how all of these cut as well. And one of my favourites is the fusilli. So this is the one that will cut things that you could do a potato on a stick, or amazing potato bakes that people just think, wow, how did you do that? Or by hand, of course. And it also comes with our spiralizer stick. Now what I want you to do is have a look at this. So when you come in, sometimes when you buy new gadgets, you forget what everything's for. But if you have a look on here, it actually says Spiral Expert. So I don't know whether you can actually see that, but Spiral Expert. So we know that that's the piece that we need when we're actually going to be using our spiralizer. So what you need to do is we've got our large bowl on the base, and we're going to pop in our spiralizer stick there like that. And then we're going to pop on our cover. This one is the actual one that holds our blade. What you need to do is it's got 3 openings, but here it's got an actual opening that is what you need the closest to here to be able to lock on the lid. So this is what's going to actually make it start. So I thought what I'd do is start with the small and go with the spaghetti. Now if I was doing a spaghetti bolognese, quite often I would do a zucchini zoodle, and I don't actually even cook the zucchini or blanch it or anything, because by the time you put your hot bolognese sauce on there, it's enough to actually cook zucchini through. If you were doing carrot, you probably would want to blanch it a little bit because it's, you know, a little bit tougher than what zucchini is. And I was actually only just thinking, zucchinis would be a beautiful way to add some vegetables into our beautiful pasta tonight that you could just actually pop into the bowl as zoodles, and then pop your beautiful pasta on the top as well. Okay, so we're going to lock in our cover. So you all know, you all know with your food processor that unless you lock in your lid, the machine's not going to start. It's exactly the same with our spiralizer, so there's absolutely nothing different. Now I just realised I need to get my cap, the safety cap. Now this is very important because you don't want to be poking your hand down there because you probably lose fingers. Well, you would lose fingers. So we want to make sure that we're using our safety cap as well. Okay, so when we're doing things like our zoodles, you need to use the cap, and on the cap, if you want to just have a little look, it actually has little spikes on there, so then we can hold our zucchinis and our carrots and hold things nice and still, because without that it gets a little crazy, so you need to make sure you've got that. Now the other thing you need to make sure you're doing is when you're going to start the machine, be ready, okay? So have it ready in position before we actually go and we start our machine. So all we're going to be doing is going onto our food processor function, which is what we need when we're using our spiralizer or our food processor with the attachments that come with it. and I'm going to show you how beautifully and quickly it's going to do this. So all I want you to do is hit start. Okay, are you ready? There's not a lot of force either, I'm just keeping it very hot like that. And stop. And what I love is the only little bit of wastage is this tiny little piece. Oops, just threw on the floor. Let me just get that. This tiny little piece. So what I did is I actually just didn't chop the end off, and I used the end to be the part that I held. So that's all that you've got that's left over. So I want to show you, plate this so I can show you how beautiful the zoodles are that come out of here. I was going to get my kids to come and help me, and we're going to run around the house and see how long and how far we could get with it, but no one wanted to do it with me. So I'm just going to pop them out onto the plate for you. So I'll just pull them out, and then I'll show you how amazing this is. Okay, so if you want to come in here and have a closer look, you can see all of those amazing zoodles that we have done a full zucchini. So it's amazing how much a full zucchini does when it comes through a bowl of what looks like pasta. So that's absolutely gorgeous on the plate there as well. So imagine pouring over a beautiful bolognese sauce, or even the stroganoff. If you look up the stroganoff recipe that we did a couple of weeks ago, that would be absolutely amazing with the zucchini zoodles under there as well. So that is that one there. I'll just pop that out onto the plate. Okay, so hopefully kitchens are smelling amazing, and we've only got 4 minutes left, so that's really great. But that sauce is, I don't know if you want to come in and have a little look at the sauce. Just giving my cameraman a nod. But you can come in and you can see that beautiful sauce is really starting to come together. The smell is amazing. So all of that chili and those onions, the beautiful garlic, the tomato paste, that little bit of sugar, the wine, everything in there is absolutely smelling divine. So we'll keep that going. We've got 3.5 minutes on that one there. Okay. So the other one that I wanted to then show you was then doing our tagliatelle. So it's a little bit bigger than what we do with our fusilli. With our spaghetti. So I'm just going to sit that one there. But it's exactly the same function as to how we pop it in. So making sure that our opening is close here. I'd be interested to know actually if you're on there. Tell us if you own a spiralizer. We'd love to know if you've actually got one. Are you scared to use it? Have you been using it? What sort of things are you doing with it as well? So there's some amazing recipes that we've found that are in our Spiralizer cookbook. So you actually get the Spiralizer cookbook along with the Spiralizer set if you do purchase it or if you have purchased it. But there's some really amazing summer salads in there. So a beautiful, there's a beautiful one in there which is cucumber, watermelon, feta. And the cucumber, one cucumber, like a telegraph cucumber, just does miles and miles of amazing looking cucumber as well, which really looks special. So if you're starting to plan, Christmas menus and those sorts of things, there's some beautiful things you can do in that cookbook. So I can show you some of those later. We've got 2 minutes left on that. So I'm going to pop this on, lock it in, and I'm going to show you how the carrot comes out. So again, making sure that we're locking that in. And we're going to start that. So again, like I said, not a lot of force, so it's a carrot, which is actually quite hard. But we're popping that in. Again, tiniest little bit of wastage. If you've got a rabbit, they'd be really appreciative of that, so you don't waste anything anyway. Okay, so we'll take that off. How long have we got over here? Put another minute. Beautiful. Okay. So again, I'll pop it out onto the plate, and then I'll get you to come in and have a look at how absolutely amazing this is. Okay, so can you see the difference in the thickness from our tagliatelle to our zucchini noodles. So it's actually quite, it's almost like a, I can't even think of the name of the pasta, but it's just like a thicker version of a nice beautiful pasta. And of course our favourite part that comes out in the middle, which is your middle of your carrot. We call it the worm. But you can see it's absolutely beautiful. So it's come out really, again, like I said, you could do a beautiful salad with, you know, some beetroot, some carrots, purple carrots. If you can get your hands on purple carrots, that looks really, really special as well. But think of all the beautiful salads you could be doing Christmas time when you're entertaining, you know, silly season. I think silly season starts in October, I think. So I'm sure that we'll all start to get out a little bit more now that things are settling down a bit in the world. So I'm just going to, that one's got 5 seconds, so I'm not going to do the next one until I've got this on again. So if you want to come in and have a look, it looks a bit like a beautiful tomato soup actually. So I'll just show you. But if you're cooking along with me now, you will be loving the smell of this. It is absolutely beautiful. So all in there, beautiful chilies, tomatoes, all of those things. So now I'm actually going to add in my pasta. So it's 300 grams of your raw pasta. So you could do fusilli, you could do your penne, whatever it is that you decided that you want to do. We're going to just pop in our pasta. And at this stage, we're also going to pop in our chorizo. So it was a couple of chorizo sticks, or about 200 grams of chorizo. And we did mention that you need to peel it as well, because it does have that papery kind of skin on it. So make sure you peeled it. Now I am going to give that just a little bit of a stir. So if you want to come in and have a look, we're just going to give that a little bit of a stir. Now I will tell you, the first time I tried this, I was really nervous that it was going to be a pasta soup, because as you can see from that, it does look really, really soupy. I promise you, it does not end up like that. It is absolutely amazing. Okay, so we're going to pop our lid back on. And this time, we're going to go, leave it at 100 degrees, but we're actually going to go for 11 minutes. And I know that sounds silly, but it just needed that extra minute. Okay, so we're going to go into 11 minutes. We're going to now drop our speed down to 1A. So you know that quite often, if you've watched me before, I do use the 1A quite a lot. So basically when we're using the 1A, actually I'll just get that started so I can keep talking to you. But we're using the 1A because you can see it stirs to get started, and then it's going to sit there and it's just going to boil away and keep all that pasta cooking, that chorizo warming up, everything going on in there. If we were to use a 3 and it was constantly stirring, eventually your pasta's going to not like you and it's going to fall apart. So we like the 1A, so it's like cooking in a saucepan, but you don't have to stir anything, it does it for you. But it's about every couple of minutes that it gives it that nice little stir. So a nice and easy way to cook, and one of my favourite functions that I use quite often. So, okay. So now you've seen our beautiful spaghetti and our tagliatelle, and I'm going to show you now our beautiful fusilli and potato. Sweet potato, those larger sort of vegetables are a really beautiful thing to do through here. As I mentioned before, the cucumber, and I will show you some pictures of how amazing it comes out with the cucumber as well. I'll pop that there. And I've got now my blade for our fusilli. So if you have ever been to the Easter Show or the Royal Show, Melbourne Show, Queensland Show, all of those shows, they do potato on a stick, and it's absolutely amazing. My tip to you is, if you want to do potato on a stick, is you need to make sure, once you've done your potatoes like I'll show you, you need to make sure that you soak them in a little bit of vinegar and water, and then dry them really well before you bake them, and they come up so much crispier than just trying to put them straight into the oven. So it just needs that extra little bit of attention to be able to do that. Okay, so I'm going to pop on my cover again. Now, if you go to put a potato in and you go, uh-oh, it won't fit in the hole, don't cut the potato in half, because it doesn't work properly or as well if you cut your potato in half. So all I'm going to do is just cut a little bit off the edge, and if it still doesn't fit, just a little bit off the other edge, and that's all we need to do. So you'll find now that will go absolutely perfectly. Now I do like to actually put my spike in before I do that, as I mentioned earlier, because you want to have control of it. Okay, if you just pop that in there and then you try to spike it, it's not nice and straight, it's not going to work for you as well. So we want to be able to pop that in. Okay, so are we ready? That's it. That's how quick one potato was. Okay. This just amazes me. I don't know. Just get excited every time I do this. Okay, so we've got a potato. I'm actually going to pull it out like a potato, because that's what it was. And then you can see how amazing that comes out of the machine. So it's just absolutely gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. So the thing you could do with this, if you could actually make a really beautiful potato bake. So quite often I'll get a sweet potato as well as your normal potato, and I'll actually put them through, and I peel my sweet potatoes, but I don't even bother peeling the normal potato. But what you can actually do is layer it. So actually I might show you in a plate like this. So if I was doing a potato bake, you can come in and have a little look at this. If I was doing a potato bake, I'd actually just layer all of my potatoes in my bowl like this, so give them a little bit of room. And imagine then adding into that some sweet potato, into the mix of that as well. You can do parsnips, you can do, just any of those sorts of vegetables that you want to be able to do in a potato bake. So what I do, there's a few ways you can do it. You can add a little bit of olive oil, you can pop some rosemary and some salt onto there, pop it into the oven. But the one I really like, and is a bit of a hit in this house, is I actually just get some cream, and I mix the cream with a little bit of chicken stock powder, and I mix it up, and I pour it over my potatoes and my sweet potato, and then I just add cheese over the top and pop it into the oven, and it is absolutely beautiful. A tip too, so in this house, half of the family like potato only, and the other half like both. So I'd actually separate it so that, that one didn't touch the other and everything was okay. But yeah, you can see though how absolutely gorgeous that potato looks. Imagine that in a potato bake. So that is our fusilli with that as well. So beautiful. So so many creative, fun things that you could do. Just grab that. Okay, and I want to show you some of our gorgeous recipes that we actually have in here. So if you want to come in here, and it just gives you an idea that something like a spiralizer is not just to make zoodles. So you're not investing in something that's not going to do what you want it to. It talks about all the different things. My youngest child loves zoodled apples. It's like, I don't know why, but anyway. But you can see here we've got a beautiful Asian carrot and ginger salad. This is the one I was talking about. So believe it or not, that's actually a telegraph cucumber, and it looks amazing. Added with some feta and some watermelon. So a beautiful summer salad. We've got here our beetroot and chickpea salad. So it does beetroot beautifully as well. And beetroot just has that beautiful, beautiful colour that we can add as well. The rainbow salad's a really good one to do as well. So there's some really, really fantastic things, lots of fantastic things in our book here that you can be doing by using all of these attachments. Okay, so it's nice to sort of know that there's lots of things you can do if you're going to invest in something like that. But that's, for those of you that have got it, like I said, let me know what it is that you're making. We'd love to see what everyone's, people are so creative, and it's really nice to get ideas from other people. Pop your photos up if you want to show us some fantastic things that you've made as well. So we've got 4.5 minutes of that left to go. So as I mentioned, when I'm popping that onto 1A, you'll be able to look in there, and if you want to come in and have a little look, again, you can actually see that sort of bubbling away in there as well. So it's cooking that pasta, it's cooking that chorizo, it's not chopping anything up, so you'll see that the pasta's all beautiful together, and it's coming together absolutely perfectly. And then we're going to add our prawns right at the end. But the other thing, when I was testing this recipe, I was thinking, what else could you do with it? Because the sauce is amazing. So it comes out to be a really beautiful tomato-based sauce. So I did have a question on here. Somebody didn't want to put chorizo in here. It doesn't matter, it's okay. Chorizo gives it that little bit of a smoky taste, but if you don't want to put chorizo in there, you don't have to put it in there. I would actually use this base and do almost like a marinara. So add, some scallops and some fish pieces and those sorts of things in there as well, if you wanted to do that. and all in one pot, so you're not having to worry about cooking pasta in one pot and your sauce in another pot and you know, all of that extra washing up. And as you all know, this machine washes itself up at the end of the night, which is great. But there's so many things you could do. So if you didn't want to do seafood, this would be really nice just even with some chicken. So you could do chicken and add bacon if you wanted to. But it's just got that really beautiful base sauce that you can actually do whatever it is that you want with it. So that's exciting. So we're just giving that another little stir. So we've got 3 minutes to go. And the prawns only really take 5 minutes because they're cut beautifully thin lengthways. They don't take long at all when we actually pop them in here. So I'm just going to clean this up. Hopefully your kitchens are smelling as fabulous as mine. Keep going. Okay. So if there's other things that you want to see, please make sure you let us know, because we really you know, are doing this for all of you that want to watch and want to cook along with us. So we'd really love to know what else that you want to see. I know lots of people have asked us about bread, but the problem with bread is it's great you can do it in the machine. I can, you know, quite happily share with you my before and after photos, but it's really difficult to do it live because I don't know what I'd do for an hour while it was rising in the bowl. So, you know, that is something that we can certainly give you hints and tips on how to do amazing bread. And it's, you know, a bit of a trial on the machine as well as to, you know, what works for you. But the bread in here is absolutely fabulous, and the fact that it rises in here for you. For those of you that have never tried to make dough, so whether you're doing a pizza dough, whether you're doing a bread dough, you know, a focaccia, anything like that, you can actually set the machine, so go into the expert mode, you set your machine for 60 minutes or an hour, you turn the speed off completely, which is the other beauty of this machine, is you can completely turn the speed off, you don't need any speed with that. And also pop your temperature onto 33 degrees. So this is once you put your dough together, and you can use the bread function in here to do that. But this is then when you're proofing that bread to make it, you know, rise before you kind of go to the next stage of it as well. So makes it nice and easy. Now, when we go to add our prawns in, if you want to add, you can put them through the top, but I actually like to take the cover off, and I actually like to give it just a quick little stir to make sure those prawns are, you know, really through all of that and getting the best heat that they possibly can as well. So only got a minute to go there. And I hope that you all, you know, like I said, tell us if you've got the spiralizer and what you're doing with it, and if you're having any trouble with it. It is super, super easy to use. And it's not one of those things that you kind of think, oh, I'll never use, you know, or you might think I'll never use that, but once you start seeing the amazing things that you can do, it's a really great way to be able to use the machine as well. So I think too, you find that with kids are more likely to eat a raw carrot that looks like noodles than they are, you know, any other way. So it's a really great way to get kids, little ones, to eat more fruit and veg as well. Okay, so I've just got 40 seconds to go on that, and I will pop in these prawns, and we've got 5 minutes to go. So it's a really, you know, super quick, easy, one pot pasta, and like I said, there's so many variations of it. It's really up to you as to what you do with it. So lots of different things that we can do, lots of things that we can add, and nothing's wrong. So there's no wrong way of doing it. So it's perfect. Okay, so we've got 11 seconds, 10, 9, 8, 7. You know when you're just hungry and it smells amazing and you're like, could you just hurry up and finish cooking, please? Okay, beautiful. So I'll pop that off, and you can come in and have a look at how it's looking. But you can already see that pasta, it's really hard to pick up with a spatula, but you can see that pasta's starting to cook, okay? So it's not hard like it was. It is beautifully coming together, and now I'm just going to pop in my prawns. So if you wanted to do more prawns, then that's fine. It's absolutely up to you. And like I said, leave them out, put them in. It's a beautiful base sauce regardless. So I'm just giving that just a little bit of a stir. Oh, we've left a prawn in the bowl. Waste of prawn. Okay, and then we're going to pop that back on, and we're going to leave everything the same. So our temperature, we're going to leave it on 1A, but we're going to pop this on for 5 minutes. And again, that'll give it a beautiful stir to start on our 1A mode, and then it's going to stop, and it's going to cook those prawns very beautifully. So I did also mention to serve some beautiful basil, so it just gives it that, you know, I love basil, so it's really easy to add to that. And we're also going to shave some fresh Parmesan on the top of this as well. Now, one of the things I will tell you, and when I first made this dish, at first I thought that the pasta might have needed a little bit longer, but if you let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes before you serve it, it does not need any longer, okay? So sometimes we're tempted to kind of go, it's not quite ready, we'll just give it a little bit more. You'll overcook it, so you don't want to be doing that. So don't be tempted to pop it on again. It is honestly that time in there. By the time this pasta comes out, it's actually been in that beautiful hot sauce for, what did we say, 16 minutes, so 11 minutes and then the 5 minutes with the prawns. So it's actually been in there for quite enough time. So I'm just going to get rid of that. And we're super close. So if I wanted to, as I mentioned, I'm going to serve it up and show you, but I could actually add the beautiful zucchini zoodles onto the bottom of that if you wanted to. So if you wanted that little bit of veggie through your pasta, but you could, add anything. You can cook anything and pop that in there as well. Okay, so while we've got a minute, I'm going to show you, and I want to know what your favourite recipes are in our Cook Expert cookbook. So this is the cookbook that you received with your Cook Expert, so when you first made that purchase. And I would love to know what you're actually making out of here and what you're finding is, one of your favourite recipes. So we've got some fabulous things in here, from things like our cheese and bacon muffins. We've got some beautiful soups in there as well. And the great thing with our Cook Expert is that we're also able to use that soup function where we can actually be making those beautiful soups, whether they're cream soups, pureed soups, etc. Some beautiful fish recipes. We've got some beautiful pork fillets. So when you received your machine, you also received a beautiful steamer. And it's funny that I've just popped on an egg there because, just going to grab that. So when you first purchased your Cook Expert, you also received the steam basket. And I've actually worked out the perfect egg by using the steam basket. Okay, so what I do is you can buy just some little silicone like muffin type forms, crack in your egg into the form, and then you want to pop in boiling water into here. Okay, so I find rather than boiling it in here, I actually just pop the boiling water in there. Then I pop it onto the steam mode, or you can do expert mode. I pop it at 110 degrees for 7 minutes, and I just don't even need to worry about the speed of the machine. It's just on still or like 0. Pop it in there, and it does your poached eggs. So that's for 2 poached eggs in 7 minutes, and they are absolutely perfect. If you like your yolk a little bit on the harder side, then obviously you're going to work out that you need to go for a little bit longer. And if you do 4 to 6 eggs, you're going to have to extend the time. So 4 eggs takes about 10 minutes, but they're absolutely perfect. So it's another great thing to use your machine for. The other thing I do is when I do those eggs, is that the litre of water that is actually in here. So I just use that water to then wash up with. So you're not wasting all that water by just pouring it down the sink. So we've only got a minute and a half of this to go. Now I am going to, as I mentioned, serve it up to show you, but normally I would actually suggest leaving it 5 to 10 minutes and it will be absolutely perfect, okay? So as I mentioned, don't turn it on for any longer. You might feel like, check, obviously the only thing I would be checking is that those beautiful prawns are cooked, but other than that, the pasta will be fine if you just let it sit for a few extra minutes before serving, which generally is what happens anyway, although I don't know that you'd want to wait for this because it's absolutely amazing. So who's coming over for dinner? I'm going to be knocking at my door soon. Okay, 45 minutes, but I've got everything to go. I just need something to grate my cheese with. You can buy Parmesan already grated. It's just not the same as grating Parmesan yourself. Okay, so we want to make sure that we make the best of this beautiful dish. Okay, less than 30 seconds. Let's grab that off. I'm nearly ready. So excited because I'm really hungry now. Do you know what I like about one pot cooking is you can't keep tasting it. So when you're cooking on the saucepan, you can keep tasting it as every cook does, but you can't do that this time. So it actually tastes better. I don't know what that is. You're actually appreciating it more. Okay, so come on in and please have a look. So you can remember when I first started, I was saying it looks like a pasta soup. There was way too much liquid in there. There is still a bit of liquid in there, but I'm telling you, it will soak into that pasta beautifully and it will not at all be like soup. But you can see in there as well, while you're looking, that those beautiful prawns have now also cooked, and we are ready to serve up our amazing chili, chorizo, prawn, pasta. I'm going to steal all the prawns before everyone else gets here. Okay. So we're just going to dress that up. We're going to add a little bit of basil. We're going to pop some beautiful fresh Parmesan over the top. Oh, that is cookbook picture worthy, let me tell you. And voila, we have our beautiful chili, tomato, prawn, chorizo. Oh, there's so many things I'm adding to that, the nerve of it now, isn't there? But look at that, absolutely magnificent, absolutely amazing. So I hope you all enjoyed it, or you will enjoy it. But honestly, I want to hear your feedback because it is an amazing pasta dish, all done in the one pot. But of course, I want to give you all the opportunity to win yourself a free cookbook. So it might be our simple desserts cookbook, it might be our simple meals cookbook, and I want to give you all the chance. So I'm going to ask you tonight. Now, it's not just the first 5 to answer. We're going to do a draw out of everybody that answers tonight. And I'm asking you, how many years is our warranty on our motor? So, enjoy your dinner. Love to hear your feedback because honestly, I'm absolutely hand on my heart. This is an amazing pasta dish. And I look forward to seeing you again soon.